So, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines with me, Eric. So, today we will be doing a tutorial for all the complete newbies in Cities Skylines. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned a lot. So, let's start with a new game. And since Foggy Hills is at the top, that's probably the first map you will pick if you want to dive straight into the game. So if you do have scenarios, then they can be quite hard. So let's start this. So it should take fairly quickly to load on your first level, but it depends on what map you have. If you have a giant map with lots of trees, then it will take a long-ish time. So here we are in our city. So first thing I would recommend you do is pause the game. So we have a river here which will be important for our water collection for water pipes to give water to our city. We have a few trees here which can be for our industry, and we have our highway connection. So the highway is where people will get is the way people can travel into your city. So they will come by car around here, go to this lovely interchange, go around these loops, round again, round, and come out into your city. So one of the most important parts of your city is the entrance and your interchange in the beginning. If you have a rubbish one, you're most likely to get very bad traffic, and can get very bad. And it's once your traffic has already started to go down below 50%, it's very hard to get it back up again. So the most popular choice to start off with is a roundabout, or labeled under intersections. So I don't have anything. The only thing I have at the moment is a 2-lane road. This I got off the Steam Workshop, so you wouldn't get it. I'll try not to use any workshop items, since this is for beginners and you probably wouldn't be getting any workshop items. So everything I can get says construct 2-lane road. So let's start by building a roundabout here. You have these three tools here. You have your elevation step, which you can control by pressing page up or page down, and this will that's for making bridges, and this will depend. Your height of your bridge will depend on this step. This is for making curved roads. You can see you've made a curved road, and this says freeform road. Once you've made a curved road and go up, you can make another one, and this can be used for following coastlines and slightly weird shapes. So now I've built my first 2-lane road. I would recommend you just build a tiny lane road to get all of these options. I now have my straight 2-lane road. So remember, everything you build has an upkeep. Does that red text, orangey text, 0.32 euros, I don't know the currency, per week. So, and also you have the cost in blue underneath. You have the speed limit, which can be for traffic, but I don't worry about that much. So first we'll build a roundabout. We also have gravel roads, which are a lot cheaper. You use them for just placing and making a guideline of where your road should be. So we're making a small roundabout. First I make a cross in the middle and I go round. So I like to use freeform tool because that makes it easier. And now we have our first circle. You should pause the game because then your weekly income will go down and you'll be paying for upkeep of these roads. So don't delete this cross yet, because once you connect them to the highway, your roundabout can get a bit wonky and start getting messed up, and it doesn't look like a roundabout. So we'll just connect this. The biggest road we have is a 6-lane road, but I think that would be quite big compared to this. So hopefully this will let me connect up. Let's just use a small road. Yeah, so if you build a road too close to another road, then they sometimes complain that it's a bit of a rubbish roundabout. They sometimes complain about that the distance is too short, and then there's no really a way. If you have some mod, you can fix that. But if it says distance too short, you can try using a straight road or a curved road instead. But if it still doesn't work, then you have to redo the whole road. So we have a bit of a rubbish connection here. We might fix that later, but that's a start. So next thing you want to do is you have the zoning. So zoning tells what type of buildings the area should be building. So industrial zones, you have lots of industrial buildings. Commercial, you have some nice shops. And residential, you have some houses. You do get high density, which will be maybe skyscrapers and big apartment flats. But you unlock that in quite a bit, I think 7,500. So that's a long way away. So the first thing I do is build two roads coming from the side. One side will be industry, the other will be houses. So if we build off here, I like to keep my roads at a quite even number. As you can see, those lines I think mean 5 meters or units. I'm not sure what they're measured in. 5 units, 10 units. So I think this is 10. Oh no, it's 20 units. Yes, so each line marks 10 units. So I make a road here 10 units long and make a tiny little area here for a few industrial buildings. We can fill that up. Remember, your game should be paused. You don't want houses building yet because we still have to put water pipes and electricity in. So we can put a few houses and one shop. So normally buildings, they are about 4 by 4. Then you get 3 by 3 and 2 by 2. So if I were to build if I were to zone it like this, I would only get 1 by 1 houses by the road. If I were to do this, I would still only get 1 by 1 houses, even though there's an extra space at the back because buildings only go in squares. So once you've zoned your areas, we need water pipes. So we have a river here. We can put our pumping stations. So you have a pumping station which gets water, and you have a outlet which dumps water. And outlets, they pollute. We don't have it on here. This is your layers info views. So you can check your pollution. Right now I'm looking at my water. I can see that it's flowing downstream. I can look at the wind, dark is higher. I can look at the traffic. It's already building up there. That's surprising. Even though there's nothing to see here. I get traffic routes, so I can see how many people use the roads. I can adjust the junctions. So this roundabout here, I don't really want to have traffic lights on there. I probably would want to put stop signs. I would probably want to put stop signs here to give this road in the middle priority. You get to adjust roads. I'm not really sure what that does. I've never used it. So when you build your water pumps, you really must put your outlet downstream from the pumping station. Otherwise, if I built it here, you would be dumping all sorry. You would be dumping all your sewage into the and then pumping it back out again, which will make your citizens sick and unhappy. It says here the citizens will get unhappy because of all the water and pollution. So you also need to connect them up with water pipes. You do get another option of a water tower. You get a water treatment plant later on, and these are after work. So water towers, if you don't have a stream, to pump out the water, you need to build one. It doesn't pump out water, so you'll just have to make your own lake and start dumping sewage into some lake and hope that it doesn't flood, and expand to somewhere where there is a river and dump it there. So let's connect these up. You don't always have to make these pumps so far apart, but I recommend you do, because the less chance it is of water flowing, pollution flowing, sorry. So there we need to take it to our city. There's this bubble around it, which means this is where it will cover all the houses in this bubble. So I can say I'm covering all these little squares. That's where our houses will be built, and yes, they will all get water. So water pipes are good. Final thing we need is electricity. When you start, you do get the option of a coal power plant that pollutes a lot, and it gives you a lot of power, but it's quite expensive and has a high upkeep. So personally, I don't like to use coal power plants or oil power plants because they do pollute. Then they run out of fuel. They don't make any electricity, and you're just left with this polluting area. Unless you have mining for limited fossil fuels or coal and ore, they will eventually run out. So I prefer to use wind turbines, and when I can get them, I really like dams and hydropower plants. Then you can move on to using power plants which don't require fuel. So you should build your wind turbines in any area that is quite grey. When I first made my very first city, I was rushing. I put them in an area where there's absolutely no wind. I was generating 3 megawatts of power. I was wondering why they weren't getting any electricity. It's because they were positioned in a completely rubbish spot. So normally on high land, it's obvious you get higher wind. But if you have a big lake or a big piece of flat land, they will have a lot of wind. So you can use this advanced wind turbine, which produces a lot more at a high level. If you have a big reservoir or lake, it will be very windy in the middle, you can use those. So I'm thinking we can put this near our sewage treatment. That way, this bubble around it the electricity will jump from this power plant to the sewage outlet. So I think one at the moment is fine. And then you can connect them up with power cables. So this needs power. We can run one all the way across to here and run one some to our city. So I try to keep it at the back. We'll just put it there. And hopefully people move in first though. So I think having one here would be better, because houses have power bubbles around them, and when these people start moving in, a power bubble will appear around the house. It will connect to here, and then they will have electricity. So let's unpause the game. I think we're ready to go. You do have the budget panel. So this is your budget panel. You will spend more money on the service, but it will produce more electricity. So if your city needs 1 more megawatt, you can see we're losing a lot of money because no one's moving in. Well, some people are, but we're not getting any money from the people who are moving in, and we're paying a lot of money for upkeep of all these buildings and houses. So what was I talking about? So yes, the budget. You will spend more, you will produce more the higher it is. The lower it is, you will spend less on it. So if you have really good budget, like at the beginning, I should actually drop my budget for water because I have plenty of water, quite a lot of electricity too. So I'll drop that. Means we'll be spending less money and we'll get more income. So far, we're actually losing money. So we need a lot of residential, and we'll just build some more roads. So at the beginning, all you do is just build roads, put some more houses down, and when you lack the services, like if you lack electricity, then you can up the budget, and then once you've reached about 100%, you can build another power plant. So now you can speed the game up since it's just about waiting for people to move in. Using this button here, it will now go 3 times the speed, and it will be, you can see they're building faster. So let's look at these items down here. So this is our population. It's increasing quite nicely. People are moving in. And this is your population increase. How? So if it's in minuses, people are moving out. If it's in positives or green, they are moving in. This is your money. This is how much money you'll have in your bank. And this is your income, or, well, I'm losing money at the moment because I'm paying for all of the roads and the treatment plants. But it was 600 a few seconds ago. You see it's going up now. Okay, we have a demand for industry. These are your demands. High demand for industry offices. We don't have offices. That's basically the high density of industry. So I just need to put more industry. Bear in mind, industry does pollute. Offices don't. Or once you get zoning, you can tell you can tell there are forests here. You can label this all, here forests. So cut down some trees rather than pollute the area. They will start cutting down trees, and they won't pollute. Unless if you are mining for oil, then they will pollute because they're burning it, and for ore they do pollute. So some different types of zonings pollute, and some don't. Specializations for industry. So yes, we have a very high demand for residential. The higher the bar, the more you need. So this means we need to build more houses. They might need water pipes, yes, make sure they're covered. This is very high, so that's why we dropped the budget. And this is going up by a little bit. We can extend these roads. And at the moment, we're just waiting for our money to go into positives and to reach our milestones. So these are our milestones for population. And when you reach a certain level, a certain number of people move into your city, you will unlock some services like garbage collection. You will have incinerators and landfill sites, healthcare, so you will need little medical clinics and hospitals, and education, which you'll need schools. And it makes sense. You also get loans and taxes. You can increase taxes to make them pay a lot, but they won't be as happy if you give them 50% tax. So loans, you get 3 loans. You will, at first you have 1, and yeah, you'll just be able to get money. You will pay a little bit more for interest, but it's okay. So we are earning money now. If you do just dive into the game and start putting roads down, building industry, you don't know what you're doing, you probably will lose money. That's what I did when I first played Cities Skylines. I saw my friend playing it. He had infinite money turned on, so he was losing about 60,000 a week. And I thought, oh, this is easy. I just want to build stuff. And my parents said, no, that's not how it works in life. So I had to work it out myself, watched a few YouTube videos, and one day I was very happy because I started earning money. And if you know what you're doing in City Skyline, it's quite easy to earn money. So this is your areas. So you could expand outwards when it will give you an option to buy this area of land or here or here. At the moment we don't have it. I think when we unlock a milestone, no. So with these arrows you can browse the milestones. The highest is Megalopolis. You get monuments, which are huge buildings. Everybody loves them, and they cost a lot, like millions. So it's your land. Here is your city information. You get shows you what houses you have, what buildings, shows different types of people. So we have a lot of adults, some children, teenagers, no young adults, some seniors. You can rename your city. And you can rename houses by clicking here, pressing enter. A bit of a power cut will increase the budget. You can rename citizens and cars. So yes, you can name them something funny. So need more houses. This icon above them tells you what they need. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of City Skylines. Hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the game. If it's your first time just watching this video to see what you need to do, you need electricity. And thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Goodbye.